A look into a book with Balanagendran, an excavation for eternal bliss.
"12 months, 26 hours passed in the journey of eternity and in the determination of the destiny of Master of Infotainment, Radio Udaan. Vanakkam, Vandanam, Namaste, Namaskar, good evening and welcome to a look into a book with Balanagendran, the 51st episode and the first year commemorating the broadcast of the shows on Radio Udaan, A Flight of Life. Dear all, it's been an awesome moment of 52 weeks, 365 days, and throughout a year. The convention held on 31st January 2015 at New Delhi has been the grandest milestone that you have given to Radio Udaan, A Flight of Life. It has been an immense pleasure to cross over the milestone and to move on to pursue its eternal journey for which Radio Udaan has been built. It is on pursuit now to widen the borders of its accomplishments and to enhance its effectiveness beyond the borders of all people and the people from all walks of life. Today, a look into a book is specifically dedicated to celebrate Radio Udaan's first year broadcasting, which has begun on February 3rd, 2014. To be exact, Radio Udaan has begun and the functions of this Master of Infotainment has been commenced on February 2nd, 2014. However, the first show has begun to be broadcasted since February 3rd, 2014. Hence, this is the first year of its broadcast. Hence, a look into a book is specifically dedicated to all of you. We are going to determine our destiny of eternity through the excavation of eternal bliss. I congratulate here, as a member of Radio Udaan, to the top 5 participants of Radio Udaan who took part with a free entry to the convention, and we wish you all the best to join us in this unending journey. The best juncture of merriment is flowing among all of us, and Radio Udaan is going towards the milestones after milestones with the help of all of you. Type in your address bar www.radioudaan.com, radioudaan.com, where you can submit your feedbacks, you can lodge your grievances if you have any, you can participate in the shows where we have given forms to participate. You can fill the form and you can become a participant of some of our unique shows, and we are going to be coming with more uniquity in this year for sure. As of now, let's plunge ourselves into a look into a book, a celebration of first year broadcast of Radio Udaan and the 51st episode of A Look into a Book. Thanks for commemorating the 50th episode of A Look into a Book with a grand success through special transmission. Because of you, it's been possible. Today we are going to celebrate, as I said, with a giant of literature of the world. Besides our website, you can even join in our social media, largest social media, facebook.com/Radio Udaan, RADIO space UDAAN. You can also join in our Twitter, the micromedia, hashtag at Radio Udaan, RADIOUDAN. You can Skype me instantly about the show. How do you feel about the show? How do you feel about the presentation? to Radio Udaan, RADIOUDAN. This is our ID, RADIOUDAAN, where you can add us in your Skype account and you can instantly interact with me. Today, the giant of world literature, the creation that is still standing as a pioneer to all the literary scriptures. Born in Russia, translated into almost every language that is prevalent among the majoritarian people. It has been the eyes and the soul of war and the aftermath, the differences of dynasties and the differences of the family and its mentalities, the presence of European nature in 1805 till 1850s. Perhaps it covers from 1762 to 1860. The worshipping factors of the estates, the aristocracy, the meritocracy has been suppressed. French was grueling with gruesome wars on everybody, including Russia, and the Napoleonic era of 1812. Everything is enveloped in this enormous volume of creation of this gem of a person in the world of literature. Anton Chekhov, George Orwell, Virginia Woolf, and many other world-famous writers have commemorated and lauded him by saying, the father of world literature, the person who holds the baton of the prestigious world literature creation. World literary sources lies under this one creation. This one stands still as the book that holds the spotlight. We can even go beyond by calling this as a novella or novel, as it deserves to be called as an epic. Today we are going to visit an epic, perhaps in the language of Russian or in Latin or in serial order, in alphabetical order, the 7th longest creation by any author, containing 4 parts, 2 epilogues. This is the surprising thing of this book. 2 epilogues, 4 parts, 4 books, perhaps we can say 15 parts. So those 4 books are even called 4 volumes in the same book. 1225 pages. So as the weight of the book increases, the weight of the information is also heavy. We can judge the quality of the book. The book talks about 5 different families, the rich families. The author is born from a rich family, that's why he has specified about the richness and the aristocracy. He has tried to dissect one family from another, and also he made himself to be called as the giant of Russian literature in particular and the pioneer of world literary classical works. Perhaps I can give a clue. His first name begins with a famous strong plastic making company. The plastic which is considered that it can't be broken. His first name begins in that brand's name, and his name ends with toy. Most of you might have got it. Today we are going to see one of the great creations of this wonderful person. Guess what is it? Let's stay tuned together in a look into a book with Bala Nagendran, an excavation for eternal bliss on Radio Udaan, a flight of light. Today we are celebrating the first year of broadcasting of Radio Udaan's eternal journey. Today, beyond this review, we are going to listen to the dramatized version of this book. The book has been adapted into films as well as into dramas. Today we are going to listen a dramatized version so that we can feel how the book begins. The book is written first in French and Russian. 2% of the entire book contains French, and the rest contains in Russian. Clara Bell has begun to translate this into English, the first edition, and the rest have been translated into many times into English by including French verses or excluding it. These are the few features of this wonderful epic. Today we are going to see the war and the aftermath. What is that aftermath of war? Stay tuned to listen to me, Bala Nagendran, in a look into a book, An Excavation for Eternal Bliss.
जी हाँ दोस्तों, मेरे यानी कि अपने दोस्त आरजे श्याम के साथ चलिए टेक्नोलॉजी के सफर टेक सिटी पर, जहाँ होंगी बातें मोबाइल्स की और होंगी बातें कंप्यूटर्स की। तो मेरे यानी कि अपने दोस्त आरजे श्याम के साथ सुनना न भूलिएगा हर बुधवार रात 8 बजे रेडियो उड़ान पर टेक सिटी।
Words, words, words. Let's sing in the ocean of words and explore its origin, meaning, usage, and many other known and unknown facts about it. Let's sail in the world of magical words and travel far with entertainment. To listen, Ocean of Words. Every Wednesday from 10 to 11 p.m. log on www.radioudaan.com.
मधुर और चटपटा संगीत सिर्फ रेडियो उड़ान पर। फिल्मी गपशप सिर्फ रेडियो उड़ान पर। खेल और समाचारों की बातें रेडियो उड़ान पर दोस्तों। समसामयिक विषयों पर चर्चा और परिचर्चा और डिबेट के हमारे प्रोग्राम्स, अंताक्षरी से लेकर और न जाने क्या क्या। अरे सिर्फ रेडियो उड़ान पर दोस्तों, और कहां? जी हां, आपका ये नया रेडियो स्टेशन रेडियो उड़ान लेकर आया है आपके लिए कंप्लीट प्रोग्राम बोनेंजा। हमारी वेबसाइट का पता है www.radioudan.com। तो सुनते रहिएगा रेडियो उड़ान, रेडियो उड़ान, रेडियो उड़ान, रेडियो उड़ान, रेडियो उड़ान।
A look into a book with Bala Nagendran, An Excavation for Eternal Bliss.
Welcome back, friends. On this wonderful moment, as we have said, today we are going to see the giant of world literature, and is for sure the father of Russian literature. The person or the author, with genuinity we can say, as I've given the clue, most of you might have found his name, is none other than Leo Tolstoy. And the creation which we are going to look into in a look into a book today is War and Peace. If you are a reader, if you're born to be a good reader, if you feel that you love reading books, and if you say that I am a fanatic reader of books, then this is your chicken you have to eat. This is the place where you have to live. This is your home. 1,225 pages for books and 15 parts of War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. This is the place where you can cherish all things historic realism, romance, besides all, war, and at the end, philosophy. He has covered everything from beginning with history and ending with utmost philosophy. The greatest lesson that we can learn from this book, and the lesson that I have learned from this book, is how to lead a life with moral values in this ethically imperfect world. The world is unethical, that's for sure, as life is unfair to each and every one of us. However, we must get used to it. We must be with moral values. There is nothing to be blamed of the world and the life of its unfairness and its unethical practice. You must be a person of moral values. That's what determines and defines who you are and what you stand for. This simple philosophy is being cherished and poured into the fullest by Lev Nikolaevich Tolstoy. That's what his real name, buddy. It's not Leo Tolstoy, it's Lev Nikolaevich Tolstoy. Born on September 9th, 1828 at Yaslanayevich Polyana, Russian Empire. Perhaps we can say Yasnaya Polyana, Russian Empire. Died on November 20th, 1910 at Astapovo, Russia. Leo Tolstoy, a novelist and a person who emerged from the aristocratic family but denied all the well-beings and lived a life of a common man. His greatest historic representation in the Russian literature and the world literature, not only as a writer but as a role model for the betterment of the people and the fellow beings, still stands as a hallmark and a landmark to lead a life with moral values. In the year 1869, he released this epic War and Peace. The history goes like this. In the year 1863, he has begun to write his first manuscript. In 1865, he has finished his first manuscript, but in between the manuscripts and its volumes have been released in the titled name 1805 because the book begins as 1805. However, Leo Tolstoy was dissatisfied, hence in the year 1867 he has begun to rewrite almost the entire novel. Thus, we can say the novel has been finished since from 1866 to 1869. Its first edition has been released in 1869, and the subsequent editions are going on and on and on, and with for surety we can say these editions will go forever. War and Peace is surely the cheese for the writers and the readers of the world. If you want to be a good writer, or if you want to feel that you have read something the best in your life, War and Peace must be your choice. Usually, Leo Tolstoy is not known for fixing the copyright values. Hence, as soon as he turned to radical and he believed in Christian anarchy and Christianic anarchism, he has quit to hold the copyrights of all his creations like Anna Karenina, The Kingdom of God is Within You, Resurrection, and many more creations of Leo Tolstoy, this wonderful author, the giant of Russian literature and the pioneer of world literature. War and Peace is a creation that talks about, as I've said, history, romance, war, as well as philosophy. If we take the history, it takes us to the Tsarist and the Russian Revolution and the French intervention, including the Napoleonic rule and the Great Catherine rule from Paris, where she wanted to mend Russia with France and to transform Russia into one of the best places of Europe. Because of that, the book tells by beginning in French verses. Where the book goes, it says after 1820s and 30s, the rules have been reiterated and rewritten. Hence, French has been diminished, and Russian language has begun to take the place as the first language. Since 1762 to 1796, under the rule of the Catherine Great, French has been the language and lingo of the royal house. That's how the book goes. Anna Paulana, Pierre, Helene, Kirill, and many other characters. We can say that casts of character, the bunch of characters are roaming in and around Leo Tolstoy's War and Peace. The first book may contain fictional characters. However, the second book and the third book, everything contains the realistic characters like Alexander I and Napoleon, who ruled Russia through French Revolution since 1812. That's how the book goes. Specifically, the book deals with 5 aristocratic families. What are those families that are needed to be looked in before we speak of anything about the book? The book deals with 5 aristocratic families such as the Bezykovs, the Bolkonskis, the Rostovs, the Kuragins, and the Drubetskovs. Bezykovs are the fragmented family where Kirill, the old character, has given birth to 12 illegitimate kids, while we have to say Leo Tolstoy married to Sofia Tolstoy and given 13 kids to the world. They are legitimate, but in the Bezyakov family, the 12 kids are illegitimate. And the Bolkonskis are serving under the Catherine the Great rule, where the Moscow and Nikolai Bolkonsky has been one of the commandant of the Catherine the Great's empire. Rostovs are the family with a lot of estates, but with less sufficient money. However, the family was lovable knit and they belonged to each other even at their financial crisis. The Kuragin is a family of 3 children and parents of questionable character. The interesting characters are portrayed in Kuragin. And the Drubetskovs is another aristocratic family where a mother who lost her husband and her only son Boris, where she wanted her son to be an elite. This is how the book rolls in, and the book explains the revolution, the aftermath, the impacts of revolution, reason behind the revolution, and how war deals with the people. What are the problems that occurs with the people in between romance, illegitimate affairs, incestuous affairs, as well as the book contains most humanistic values. As I've said earlier, this book will tell you how to lead a life with moral value even in this unethical world. This is what War and Peace, and this is what Leo Tolstoy. To be true, it is absolutely impossible to describe the entire novel, this entire epic, this giant of world revolution and world literature in 60 minutes. Now here comes Leo Tolstoy's dramatized version of War and Peace. Let's listen for a few moments and let's know a bit about the book. The drama is in American English. We hope you can enjoy this. This is how we can learn everything. The dramatized version of War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy is for you in a look into a book with Balanagendran in exploration for eternal bliss.
This is Audible. By Leo Tolstoy, dramatized by Marcy Kahan and Mike Walker. Episode 1, plots and stratagems. If you have nothing better to do, and if the prospect of spending an evening with a poor invalid is not too alarming, I shall be charmed to see you between 7 and 10. My invitation went out this morning, and here they all are, in their court uniforms and evening gowns. Well, who can blame them? I am Anna Pavlovna Scherer, maid of honor and regular confidant of the Empress Maria Fyodorovna. If you wish to be au courant with politics, to debate with influential statesmen, if you can't resist the latest Petersburg gossip, then it would be foolish indeed to miss one of my evenings. Ah, here he comes now. Prince Vasily, one of our leading intriguers. He's been trying to calm everyone's nerves about the crisis in Europe. Well, I shall attack first. Eh bien, mon prince. So, Genoa and Lucca are now private estates of the Bonaparte family. This latest farce, Napoleon's coronation at Milan. No, I warn you, if you continue to make excuses for that Antichrist, no longer count yourself a friend of mine.
Mercy on us, what a violent attack. I am not so much concerned, cher ami, with the follies of Bonaparte, but with this attack of La grippe, which they say has laid you low.
Very well, you are saying nothing. Your daughter has arrived, Prince. La belle Hélène. See how all the heads turn. Are you aware that since her coming out, she has won everyone's heart?
Most gratifying.
Unlike your son, Anatole. I'm not sure I should say this.
Please.
The other day, in Her Majesty's presence, they were talking of Anatole. His dissipation, his wild escapades. Everyone was sorry for you.
Ma chère Annette, what can I do? The young scoundrel is costing me 40,000 rubles a year.
Have you never thought of finding the young prodigal a wife?
Well, naturally,
I know of a Princess Maria who lives unhappily in the country.
Is she wealthy?
Her father is very rich, but miserly. You must know him. The famous Prince Bolkonsky. Very clever and eccentric. Her brother Andre is an aide-de-camp with General Kutuzov.
She is of good family and rich. That's all I desire.
Andre is over there with his wife Lise and your daughter. We can start the ball rolling this very evening.
If you can arrange to take Anatole off my hands, I shall be your most devoted slave. Sniff. With an F. As a bailiff of mine writes in his reports. Forever and ever.
Look at Vasily now, gliding across the room, charming Andre's wife with his attentive smile. Poor Lise. I remember when they called her the most seductive woman in Petersburg. Now that she's married and pregnant, her husband never looks at her. Mind you, Andre always was a cold fish. Handsome, clever as his father, yet so world-weary. What was that? Oh, I might have known. That ungainly cousin of Prince Vasily's, Pierre Bezukov. He's knocked over a chair. What a huge oaf the man is.
Revolution is a grand fact.
Revolution and regicide are grand fact, my dear Monsieur Pierre. Whatever next?
I'm not speaking of regicide. I'm speaking of the idea.
I am sure the Vicomte is fascinated by your thoughts, my dear. But why not come over here and have a word with my aunt?
But I have nothing to say to your aunt, madame.
Really, no. One would think this was the first Petersburg soiree you ever attended.
Oh, that's true. I've been abroad for so long that I've never had the chance to socialize with my countrymen. I realize you only invited me because I'm related to Prince Vasily.
One does not say such things, Monsieur Pierre.
Oh, excuse me.
Now, where are you going?
Someone I must talk to. Excuse me. Sorry, Prince Andre.
Now, where has he gone? Oh, good. He's found Prince Andre. That should keep him quiet.
Bezukov, you here? You in such illustrious society?
I knew I should find you here. I'm coming to supper with you, may I?
No, impossible.
Now you must introduce me to this wife of yours.
Here she is. Lise, my friend Pierre Bezukov. Pierre is one of the fortunate ones. He's been living abroad.
How do you do?
Your husband is one of my dearest friends, Princess.
How out of place Pierre looks. That great beaming face of his among the scheming parasites. Look at them all. Anna Pavlova's pride civilized zoo. The Vicomte Mortemart, a well-born nonentity, the sort of man the rest of Europe is trying to expel. The Abbé Morio. Anna Pavlova calls him a profound thinker. That's because he's careful never to open his mouth. And our reigning society beauty, La Belle Hélène. In any other country, they'd see how vacuous and vain she really is. Don't these people realize we've turned the corner of a new century? There are new ideas. One man, Napoleon, is challenging everything. They're so self-absorbed. They see and feel nothing.
My husband is deserting me, Monsieur Pierre. He's sending me into the country while he gets himself killed.
Sorry, I don't know what to say.
Tell me, what is this nasty war about?
I wouldn't advise that, my dear.
Why not, Prince Vasily?
My cousin Pierre is a man of extreme and radical views, none of them sound.
I should love to tell you my ideas, Princess Lise, but here is our esteemed hostess.
How good it is to see Monsieur Pierre back in his native land among friends and relations.
You must get this bear into shape for me, cher ami. He's been staying with us a month, hasn't he, Hélène?
Yes, Papa.
And your party tonight is the first time he's been among respectable people.
He needs the society of clever women. Isn't that so, Mademoiselle Hélène?
Careful, she's blushing.
They are both blushing.
Papa, we shall be late.
Alas, you must excuse my daughter and me. This wretched reception at the English ambassador's.
It was good of you to come and visit a poor invalid.
Your worries are over, chère madame. We're taking Bezukhov home with us for supper.
Hold fast to your crockery, Prince André. I hope to see you again. And you, Monsieur Pierre. But I hope you will have changed your opinions.
Never. I mean, thank you. That's to say, au revoir.
Chère Annette, it's settled. I shall speak to Maria Bolkonsky about you know.
I rely on you, my dear. Let me know how her father views the matter. There's nothing wrong with Anatole Kuragin that a good wife won't cure.
You're dawdling again, Lise.
Au revoir. How sweet the little princess is. But André no longer cares for her, that's obvious. Now, I must ask the Vicomte Mortemart about Bonaparte's recent foolishness in Italy. He'll be sure to give me a reasonable answer.
What a wonderful room, André. The sort of place where a fellow might recline and just read and dream.
Really, Pierre, you must learn to contain your exuberance. Anna Pavlovna will be needing to retire to the country after an evening of your revolutionary polemics.
It was that Vicomte's fault, saying that Napoleon had lost his following, that he should have restored the monarchy.
My dear fellow, one can't everywhere and at all times say what one thinks. Now tell me, have you made up your mind? Is it to be the cavalry or the diplomatic service?
Can you imagine it? I still don't know.
But you must decide on something. Your father's expecting it. Have you been to the Horse Guards?
No, not yet. But here's an idea I've had that I must discuss with you, André. This war now is against Napoleon.
I'm glad you've been paying attention.
No, seriously. If it were a war for freedom, I could understand it. I should have been the first to join the army, but to help England and Austria against the greatest man in the world...
That's irrelevant. If everyone fought only for their own convictions, there would be no wars.
And a very good thing that would be.
Very likely, but it will never happen.
Well, what are you going to the war for?
What for? I don't know. Because I have to. I'm going because the life I lead here is not to my taste.
There you are. No, you look so comfortable. Oh, you haven't been arguing, have you? Monsieur Pierre, you are so very contentious.
Your husband and I were on the brink of an argument. I can't make out why he wants to go to the war.
That is exactly what I say. I simply do not understand why men cannot get on without war. André of all people. He might easily remain at court and become aide-de-camp to the sovereign. Anna Pavlovna says that would be quite easy to arrange.
That's enough, Lise.
When do you leave, André?
Oh, don't talk about his going. Don't talk about it. You know, André, I am afraid. I am afraid.
What is it you are afraid of, Lise? I don't understand.
Oh, there. What egoist men are. Just for a whim of his own, he deserts me and shuts me up alone in the country.
With my father and sister, don't forget that.
I shall be alone without my friends. And he expects me not to be afraid.
Your doctor said that you were to go to bed earlier. It's time you were asleep.
I don't care if Monsieur Pierre is here. I've been wanting to talk to you for a long time, Andre. What have I done? You're going off to the war. You don't feel for me. Why?
Lise!
You treat me as though I were an invalid or a child. I see it all. You weren't like this 6 months ago.
Lise, I beg you to stop.
Please, don't upset yourself, Princess. You're just imagining this, I assure you. I know Andre. That's to say, he would never... No, excuse me, an outsider has no business. Please, don't distress yourself. I must be on my way.
No, wait, Pierre. The princess is kind. She would not wish to deprive me of the pleasure of your company.
Oh, you see, he thinks only of himself.
Lise!
Mon Dieu, mon Dieu. Good night.
Bonsoir, Lise. Never marry, my dear fellow. Don't marry until you can say to yourself that you have done all that you are capable of, until you cease to love the woman of your choice and see her plainly as she really is. Otherwise you will be making an irreparable mistake. Don't look at me with such surprise.
But your wife...
My wife is an excellent woman. But what I wouldn't give not to be married. You are the first and only person I say this to because of my affection for you.
Thank you. But I still don't understand.
Oh, you talk of Bonaparte and his career. Don't forget that while Bonaparte was working his way towards his goal, he was free. But tie yourself up with a woman and all your aspirations, all the ability you feel within you, submerged in drawing rooms, balls, idle conceits, futility. My father is right. Women are selfish, vain, humdrum, trivial in everything. So whatever you do, my dear Pierre, don't marry.
It seems so odd to me, you of all people, Andre, that you should consider yourself a failure. If you knew how I admire you, your ease in society, your extraordinary memory, above all, the way you can apply yourself, such concentration.
My life is over. There's nothing more to say. Let's talk about you.
Me? What am I? The illegitimate son of Count Cyril Betsukhov. Without name and without fortune. It's true, I am free, and you can't accuse me of not enjoying it. Only I haven't the least idea what to do with my life.
You're lucky, Pierre. With your appetite for life, it doesn't matter what you choose. Only you must stop all this carousing with Anatole Karagan. It's not worthy of you.
I can't help it. Women, dear fellow, they're so irresistible.
Women of your own class, that's a different matter. But Anatole Karagan's so-called actresses...
You're right. Seriously, Andre, this dissipated life of mine, I can't decide or think properly about anything. My head aches, my money evaporates.
Precisely.
Anatole has invited me this evening, but I won't go.
Excellent. Give me your word of honour.
Word of honour.
Oh.
The bear is dancing.
I'll teach him to waltz.
What am I doing here? I promised Andre I would go straight home. Mind you, I'd already promised Anatole I would stop by, so the promise to Andre was not strictly binding. Oh, what does it matter? By tomorrow I may be dead.
Let the bear go. Dolohov thought of a better game. Come over to the window.
Where are they rushing to now?
I've been 100 on Dolohov. Mine, no holding on. Anatole, come and see to the bets.
Jacob, bring a bottle. Wait a minute, gentlemen. Here is our old Pierre.
Oh.
We thought you'd never get here.
Anatole, the bets.
Anatole, what's going on?
First of all, you must drink. Pierre, you look far too sober. Then I'll tell you. Dolohov here has laid a wager with Stevens, the English sailor.
I have bet Stevens that I can drink this entire bottle of rum without taking it from my lips while sitting on the window.
With your legs dangling out.
My legs dangling in the wind and not holding on to anything.
Come on, Pierre. Another bottle.
I don't want any more. Where's this window?
Over here.
You can't be serious. We're 3 stories out.
Such an old woman, Bezukov. Right. Here
I go. Now, hand me the bottle.
Here you are, old man. Now, shh, everyone, shh. You'll never do it.
I can't look. Why does it take so long?
Look at me. Charles, frightened nothing. Gentlemen, this is madness. He's going to kill himself.
Don't touch him. You'll startle him, then he'll really be killed.
He's slippery. He'll be killed. Empty.
There he is. On the ledge. He's alive. Defiantly alive. That's what I must do. Defy death. Live life to the full. And if I fall, so be it.
Dolohov, you have defended the honor of your country.
Gentlemen, who wants to make a bet with me? I'll do the same, all in one go, out on the ledge, no hands. Even without a bet, I'll do it. Bring a bottle.
Yes, let's hear him. A bottle of rum for Monsieur Pierre.
Pierre, put your money away. They'll never let you. You told you he's just going downstairs.
Out of my way.
Don't let him through. We need him to pay for the girls. Pierre, listen to me.
Anatole, my dear Anatole, I'll do it. I will. Some rum.
Listen, I'll take your bet, but for tomorrow. Right now, we're all going to Madame Zara's.
Yes, that's excellent, Anatole. Madame Zara's. Come along now. Put Monsieur Bear with us. Come on.
But the three of them somehow got hold of a bear.
Did you say a bear, Madame Karaki?
You heard me, Count Rostov. They took this bear with them in a carriage, goodness knows how, across Petersburg to visit some actresses.
Sheer anarchy.
Well, Countess, the police tried to intervene, but they seized a constable, tied him to the bear, and then they threw the bear into the Moika.
They didn't.
I assure you, Princess Trubetskoy, there was the bear, swimming about with the policeman on his back.
Regular bandits, the three.
Prince Vasily has managed to hush up Anatole's part in the affair. Dolokhov has been reduced to the ranks. As for the bumptious Pierre Bezukhov, he's been ordered out of Petersburg. He's here in Moscow at his father's house.
Poor old Count Bezukhov. They say his health is failing.
And this Pierre, supposedly so educated and intelligent.
That's what comes of educating young men abroad.
I hope no one here in Moscow will receive him, in spite of his money. I wouldn't have him in my house. I have my daughter here to consider.
Ma.
Don't fidget, Julie.
What makes you say Pierre is rich?
The fact of the matter is...
Oh, tell us, my dear Anna Drubetskoy.
Well, the old Count's reputation is notorious. They say he's lost track of his illegitimate children, but this Pierre was his favourite.
How handsome the old Count was.
He is much altered now, very ill indeed. Prince Vasily is the next heir through his wife, but no one can say who will inherit his enormous fortune, Vasily or Pierre. 40,000 serfs and millions of roubles.
You are very well informed, Princess Drubetskoy.
For your information, Madame Karagin, the old Count Bezukhov is my mother's second cousin. He is also godfather to my son Boris.
They say Prince Vasily is here now on some inspection business.
That is a pretext, of course. He has really come to Moscow to inspect the failing health of the old Count.
At all events, my dears, that escapade of Pierre's is a capital joke. Imagine how funny that policeman must have looked.
My husband has never lost his boyish sense of humour.
So I see.
The troops have arrived.
Papa, save me!
Come and kiss your old papa, Natasha. A special kiss for your name day.
Children really bursting in like that. You're spoiling her, Ilya.
Say hello to Madame Karagin and Julie, children.
Good afternoon, Madame.
Many happy returns of the day, Natasha. How splendid that you and your mamma share the same beautiful name.
Merci, Madame.
Oh, what a charming child. Is that your doll, my dear? What do you call her?
Mimi. I don't play with her anymore.
I hear that. Our Natasha is growing up.
I'm the resident expert on Mademoiselle Mimi.
My son Boris, madam.
In fact, I knew Mimi before her nose lost its beauty, and long before her skull was cracked.
Come and find me, Boris.
Natasha, calm down.
There you are. She's gone.
You have an appointment soon, haven't you, Mamma? Shall I order the carriage?
Please, Boris, go and tell them.
Yes. Nikolai, Sonia, stay and pay your respects to Madame Karagin.
My son and my ward, Madame. Sonia, you remember Julie Karagin?
Yes, we met last summer.
As for Nikolai here, his friend Boris gets a commission, so he throws up the university to go into the army, all for friendship's sake.
They say war has been declared.
They've been saying so for a while. All I care about it is that my Nikolai is to join the Pavlograd Hussars.
It's nothing to do with my friendship for Boris, Papa. The army is my vocation.
Nikolai's colonel dines with us tonight and will take the boy back with him. What am I to do?
If you don't wish me to go, Papa, I'll stay. But I'll be no use anywhere except the army. I can't become a diplomat. I'm not clever at disguising my feelings.
See how he flares up. This Bonaparte has turned all their heads. They are all thinking of how he rose from ensign to emperor. Well, good luck to them.
Nikolai, you remember Julie Karagin?
What a pity you weren't at the Aharos on Thursday, Nikolai.
I would have been there, Mademoiselle Julie, had I known you were going.
Oh, please. Excuse me.
Sonia? I'm sorry, she's upset. I must... Sonia!
Oh, dear. How these young people wear their hearts on their sleeves. Yes, Natasha is in love with her cousin Boris. Now, I know she's too young, but if I'm strict with her, she'll start having secrets. I'm indulgent, so she tells me everything. Where has Boris gone to? He was supposed to order the carriage.
Children, my dears, what is one to do?
Where can I hide? Behind these flower tubs. Boris will never find me. I'll make him hunt for hours. He's coming! Doesn't see me. He's too busy admiring himself in the mirror. How handsome he is. Oh, he's going. Well, I shan't call to him. Let him find me. Someone's coming. Sonia! She's crying. Poor Sonia, I better go to her. No. Here comes Nikolai.
Sonia, what is it? I've been cleaning the house for you.
Nothing. Leave me alone.
I know what's troubling you.
I would have been there, Mademoiselle Julie, had I known you were going. As though you'd been thinking about her and pining for her. How could you? In front of everyone. Well, so much the better. Why don't you go back to her?
Sonia, listen. How can you torture me and yourself over a mere nothing?
Why should I believe you?
Because the whole world is nothing to me. You are my all.
What if your mother heard you, Nikolai?
Mamma loves you, Sonia. You're one of the family.
I'm a poor cousin. Mamma would say I'm ruining your career, preventing your marriage to a rich heiress like Julie Karagin.
That's nonsense. If you don't believe me, I'll have to...
Oh, how nice. He's kissing her and she's kissing him.
Nikolai, Sonia. Oh, I didn't mean to intrude. I can't find Natasha anywhere.
No, we haven't seen her. Come, Sonia. Let's go for a walk.
Natasha?
Boris, over here. I have something to tell you.
Oh, well. What is it, Natasha?
Would you like to kiss me?
What are you doing?
How absurd you are. It's my namesake. Why can't I kiss you full on the lips?
Natasha, you know that I love you, but...
Are you in love with me, Boris?
Yes, I am, but please don't let's do this again. In another 4 years, I shall ask for your hand.
All right, then. It's settled.
Settled?
Forever and ever till we die.
Yes. I must find Mother.
Stay with me, Boris. I shan't kiss you again. Promise.
Where is my Boris? We're going to be late for our call to the old Count Bezukhov, and time is of the essence. I marvel at you, my dear Anna. Posting off alone in a carriage. Moscow, Petersburg. Seeing all those ministers and important people.
God grant that you never know what it is to be left a helpless widow with a son you love to distraction.
My poor Anna. Mind you, our life is not all roses either. People look at the Rostovs and they think we are still so well off, but they have no idea of our expenses, even in the country. Theatricals, hunting, shooting.
Your dear Ilya is too good-natured.
So I keep telling him. But Anna, dear, how did you manage it? Your Boris is an officer in the Guards, while my Nikolai is going as a mere cadet.
Prince Vasily, he petitioned the Tsar on Boris's behalf. He couldn't do enough for us. I am at your entire command, dear Princess. His very words.
Do you know, Prince Vasily used to pay court to me in the old days.
Well, his granting my wish has been a mixed blessing. Oh, Natalie, would you believe it? I'm down to my last 25-ruble note, and Boris needs 100 for his uniform. My only hope now is Count Bezukhov. After all, he is my Boris's godfather.
Surely he will leave something to Boris.
Heaven only knows. Oh, when I think of that old count, all alone, that enormous fortune, and what is he clinging on to life for, while my Boris's life is just beginning?
My dear Anna, your Boris is waiting with the carriage.
Oh, at last.
If you see Pierre at his father's house, do invite him to dine with us later. He used to come here and play with the children, you know.
Good luck, my dear.
Come back soon.
Yes, of course. Goodbye. My good man, I am Princess Drubetskoy. I have come to pay my respects to Count Cyril Bezukhov. I know he is very ill. I am a relative, and here is his godson. We shall not disturb him. I need only see Prince Vasily kindly announce us.
Very well, Princess.
Thank you. Now, be affectionate and attentive, Boris. Count Cyril is your godfather, and your future depends on him.
Mother, really, I hardly know him. Nothing will come of this except humiliation.
Prince Vasily!
Princess.
Be nice, Boris, promise.
Oh, very well.
Ah, mon prince, in what melancholy circumstances we meet again. How is our dear invalid?
The doctors give very little hope.
Oh, how dreadful. I should so much have liked to thank Uncle once more for all his kindness to Boris. The old Count is Boris's godfather.
In Moscow on leave, are you, Boris?
I'm awaiting orders to join my new regiment, Your Excellency.
Now, tell me, has our dear uncle performed his final duties? No? Then I absolutely must see him. He needs a woman to prepare him.
Better wait till this evening, Anna Drubetskoy. The doctors are expecting the crisis.
Oh, one can't delay, Prince. The salvation of his soul is at stake.
How is he?
Still the same. What can you expect with all this noise?
Oh, Princess Katish, I hardly recognized you. I have just arrived in Moscow and am at your service in nursing our dear uncle. She's obviously upset, poor girl.
Anna Drubetskoy, I really think...
Exactly, Prince Vasily. It's time I went in and saw the Count. Boris, you had better go find Pierre. The Rostovs have invited him to dinner, though I assume he won't go.
On the contrary, I should be only too glad if he would relieve me of that young man. He does nothing but mope about here.
The Count has not asked for him once.
England's day is over, Mr. Pitt. As a traitor to united Europe and to the rights of man, I, Napoleon Bonaparte, hereby sentence you... Oh, I was just...
Good evening, Monsieur Pierre. I've come with my mother to visit your father, but it appears he's not well.
Yes, they told me. They won't let me near him. That's to say, my relatives Vasily and Princess Katish seem to be nursing him.
Count Rostov begs you to come and dine today.
Ah, Count Rostov. Then you are his son Ilya. I didn't recognize you at first. Do you remember how we used to drive to Sparrow Hills with Madame Jacques?
I'm Boris, the son of Princess Anna Drubetskoy. It is Count Rostov, the father, who's called Ilya. His son's name is Nikolai. And I never knew any Madame Jacques.
Oh dear.
फिल्मी सितारों के कुछ खास लम्हात, कुछ खास जज्बात। सुनिए उनकी निजी जिंदगी की लव स्टोरी और वॉर की पूरी कहानी हमारे इस खास कार्यक्रम में, जिसका नाम है लम्हे कुछ खट्टे कुछ मीठे। हर बुधवार रात 9 से 10 मेरे यानी आरजे सुशील के साथ सिर्फ रेडियो उड़ान पर।
Hello.
Hey, what about your exam?
Oh, what can I say? I'm flunked once again. This reasoning section is hurting a lot. I don't know what to do.
I have a good news for you. Hold on and listen to the script.
2 plus 1 is equal to 3. 3 plus 4 is equal to 21. 5 plus 6 is equal to 55. Then 4 plus 8 is equal to what? What comes once in a year, twice in a week?
जी हाँ
फ्रेंड्स, हम आपके लिए लाए हैं एक बहुत ही मजेदार शो जिसका नाम है मिसेस कंफ्यूजन, जो कि आपके कंफ्यूजन क्रिएट भी करेंगी और उसे सॉल्व भी करेंगी। सो सुनना ना भूलिए मिसेस कंफ्यूजन, a show on reasoning, every Sunday 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. only on Radio Udaan.
प्रतिभा की पहचान,
प्रज्ञा की मुस्कान,
सबलांगों का साथी, ये है रेडियो उड़ान।
रेडियो उड़ान के प्रोग्राम्स की जानकारी के लिए, शोज में पार्टिसिपेट करने के लिए, किसी भी शो को फीडबैक देने के लिए, आर्काइव रिक्वेस्ट करने के लिए, आरजे बनने के लिए और अपने फेवरेट आरजेस की प्रोफाइल्स पढ़ने के लिए लॉग ऑन करें www.radioudan.com, स्काइप आईडी रेडियो उड़ान, ईमेल mail@radioudan.com। रेडियो उड़ान, a flight of life।
A look into a book with Bala Nagendran, an excavation for eternal bliss. Well friends, I hope that today's dramatized version of Leo Tolstoy's War and Peace might have helped you to calculate a bit, and it would have pulled you, and I hope that it would have kindled your interest to read this epic, the creation, the giant of literature. And perhaps besides saying this as a giant, it is surely the gorge of words literature through which you can travel if you want to know all the facets of life's values, especially to lead life with more values in this ethnically imperfect world. This is what the purpose of today's celebration of first year broadcast of Radio Udaan's shows since February 3rd, 2014, and I hope this might have helped you to give some insights into it. Long live Leo Tolstoy's creations. Though he might have passed away, but he and his creations will live together forever. Let's meet in some other occasions with Leo Tolstoy's another wonderful creation in a look into a book with Bala Nagendran, an excavation for eternal bliss. Till then, don't go anywhere. Stay tuned to Radio Udaan. Keep listening to Radio Udaan. Guide Radio Udaan to its eternal journey. Let's sit together and listen Sandeep Sports Galaxy today. A famous, a well-versed, perhaps a phenomenal sportal event, rugby. Let's see what he is going to speak about rugby today. Sports Galaxy with RJ Sandeep. This is me, Balaram, signing off from Chennai, saying good night. Take care of yourself if possible, take care of others. Buenas noches. Vanakkam. A look into a book with Bala Nagendran, an excavation for eternal bliss.